My dream theme is to have financial freedom, that I don't have to look on my bank account when I need to pay the rent or buy cat food or save a dog from the street.
What is the resistance?
Person that comes to my mind actually is my dad. I have a very beloved ancestor,
Exactly.
my great great grandfather.
Can we talk to him right now?
Yes.
Marie is a veterinarian for cats, dogs, and horses, specialized in homeopathy. I hope I'm saying that right. And she also works as a coach and trainer. After her divorce, Marie decided to start over her life in Greece, which was by far the most difficult thing that she's ever done in her life. It's really important to her to achieve financial freedom because of her passion. Her passion is actually a charity with which she helps animals in Greece. If I don't succeed at helping Marie with her financial freedom, the rest of her life is actually at stake. If this isn't going to be a very powerful and transformational conversation for Marie, she won't be able to help more animals achieve her full potential, and she'll probably live the rest of her life with that what if feeling. What if I just figured this financial thing out? What would have my life be like? So wish me luck. I already have a sense of what I should be asking her, but I'm going to allow the conversation to take us wherever we need to go, to take Marie wherever we need to go, and just have fun with it. And by the way, the reason I'm wearing this is because it's so freaking cold outside. This is actually a gift from my cousin. Makes me look like a sheep. Or a sheep herder, depends on which perspective you want to take. Before we begin, let me just give some quick shout outs to CFITD, Dana, Divine Alignment, and Sue for their awesome comments on the 15 minutes to turn her into a marketing master video. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to seeing your insights from this conversation as well. Let's begin. What would make the call exceptionally valuable for you?
You know, for many years I've been struggling to get out of duty and obligation regarding the financial system. And my dream theme is to have financial freedom without being in all this time losing accounting and invoice writing and caring about possession thing. So my dream is my cats and the animals I like possess everything, and they care for me just as I care for them.
So, financial freedom without caring about the material possessions and all the accounting and invoicing work. Is that correct?
Yes, not only the work, you know, I don't like the system we are living in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't stand for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite opposed to. And yes, I want to get out of it. Deconnect, de-identify, de-attach.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, that's actually quite common. It's a quite a common consequence of not liking the system, having had difficult experiences with the current system that we created for ourselves as a collective. Feeling trapped financially is often a consequence of that, for sure.
Yes. So I definitely need to say that I didn't vote for a democratic system.
Right.
I would love to live in a sociocracy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be involved in the decision making.
Right.
I would like to be self-responsible.
Right.
And I cannot agree to losing 50 or more percent of what I earn to a country or an office that cares badly for it. I
Beautiful.
absolutely agree of on my own and self-caring, self-deciding, giving the tenth for something very useful. And I do that all the time anyway.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, financial freedom will always be impossible without inner freedom first.
Yeah.
Because even if you reach a level of material abundance, but you are not free inside, you will never experience true freedom because you're still keeping up with the Joneses. You still need to buy the shiny thing to show people that you have value, and so on and so forth. That is not freedom. That is the opposite of freedom. Even if you're a millionaire, a billionaire, but you're still spending money on things, thinking that they will make you feel something, that is the definition of failure, right? So, congratulations for sensing that, for having that awareness, right? So, how do we actually achieve inner freedom? We become aware of the judgment.
Hmm?
Good. This is bad. This is valuable. This is not valuable. This system I like. This system I don't like. So on and so forth. Free people achieve bliss and peace in any system. You will find free people in China, where they have the communist regime. You will find free people in the US, in Romania, wherever. It's not a matter of the system you're in. It's really a matter of who you decide to be. Is this ringing true?
Definitely, I've been working on inner peace a lot of the time, a lot of my valuable time, and I met inner peace here in Greece, where
Mm-hmm.
I have the possibility meditating in the morning, having the look over the sea, having the sunsets over the Ionian Sea. Living in this exile here gave me a lot of value back, which I had lost, a lot of fun, a lot of liveliness.
Beautiful.
It's not that German way of duty and obligation, which was very hard for me, hard to take.
Yes.
But as you know, being in Greece is financially a bit troublesome from
Beautiful.
time to time.
Beautiful. So important distinctions. When you say a sociocratic system, you probably are not referring to communism because, for example, I was born in post-communist Romania, right? I was born in 88. Country got out of communism in 89, right? So our most famous gymnast, Nadia Comaneci, she had to flee the country illegally because nobody was going in, nobody was going out, right? And imagine, like, she was the number one athlete in the world and she wasn't allowed to leave. She had no freedom, or she didn't have the freedom that she was seeking, right?
Mm.
So having the ability to move, having the freedom to move is not always so accessible in a communist regime, right? So maybe the system that you're craving for is something completely different than that.
Definitely, sociocracy is something totally different to communism.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm happy we pointed out that distinction. Awesome. So let's get super clear. What does financial freedom look like for you?
Financial freedom is that I don't have to look on my bank account when I need to pay the rent or buy cat food or save a dog from the street.
Right.
That I know that is abundant and I just can do the things I'm standing for.
Beautiful. Are you not able to do the things right now that you want to do?
I can, but it's really stretching.
Oh,
I saved a dog in September. She was really starved to death, more or less. And to keep the dog up, to cure it, by now I spent about 1,000 euros for the dog. Until the dog is with his new owner in Switzerland, will be another 500. So just putting 1,500 aside for loving an animal that
Hmm.
is not even yours,
Hmm.
it's a kind of a thing. And I'm caring for cats in on the Peloponnese, I'm caring for cats in Austria, I'm caring for my own cats and my charity. It's a bit of a thing.
Beautiful. Would you like me to tell you something you already know?
Yeah.
Nice. So what we want is not necessarily financial freedom. What we want is what we believe that financial freedom will give us, right? So having that financial freedom, what are you going to be able to do that you cannot really do right now?
Let me really think.
Sure.
Oh, the number one wish is that there would be no stress in it.
Yes. So no stress. What else?
No, if there is no stress, there would be more joy
More joy. Beautiful.
because it's not covered with problems.
Yes.
Yes. It's some kind of easiness that is missing.
Beautiful. So ease, no stress, and joy, right?
Yes.
Mhm. When you say these words, what is the energy behind these words?
For me personally, it's like a big hug.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's say you have let's keep the animal example, right?
Hmm?
Let's say you have this horse that's your friend, right? He's not your servant, he's your friend, right? And every day you have to go to the field with your horse to find a dog to save, right? And you're going to put the nice dog in your carriage with your horse, right? When is your horse going to be more excited to go on this journey with you? And when is he going to have more energy? When you're stressing him out and, giving him a slap once in a while and saying, you dumb horse. Come on, you lazy horse. Get off your ass. Let's go save a dog, right? When you're like, "Oh my God, you're such a beautiful creature. I love you so much. I couldn't do my job without you. You're so amazing. You're so beautiful. Let me brush your hair, right? Let me love."
Yeah,
When is he going to be more productive?
definitely second time.
Beautiful, beautiful. When is he going to help you save more dogs?
Yeah, I'm not going to hunt dogs to save. They come to my house, and if they do so,
I mean, just like in that example, let's say you had to go out with your courage to save dogs and find them. When is he going to be more eager to help you out?
when it's free.
Exactly. Exactly. So, what is it? Is it that you gain the financial freedom and get to feel this way? No stress, right? No worry, no problems, and things flowing? Or is it that you allow yourself to feel that first, right now? Give yourself the feelings that you want of fun, of freedom, of flow, of joy, and then the finances come as a consequence.
Second one, definitely.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you see, what we want is already here. The conditioning is no, when you get to that, you're going to get to feel this way. But which one is the truth?
You're saying there's some conditioning, but what I realize that there's some resistance,
Yes. Let's see.
and this is a very subtle resistance.
It usually is, but it's enough, right? So let's amplify it. Let's not make it subtle. Let's make it really, really loud. Let us feel it fully. What is the resistance?
It's crazy, but it's accompanied with sadness. And the first person that comes to my mind actually is my dad.
There we go. Uh-huh. Yeah. Tell me about your dad.
Oh, my dad is a super intelligent being, perfect person, unreachable, and the one person that told me I will never be good enough.
But yet he's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he sees himself as perfect, but he dominates and shows off as perfect. Inside, it's not the thing.
What is it inside?
Inside, I would say it's unfulfilled and he's a bit of a coward.
Right. Because being okay with not being perfect takes a lot of guts, right? But at the same time, maybe that's who he needed to be growing up in order to survive.
To survive his dad, it definitely was helpful,
Exactly. Not helpful. He didn't have a choice.
probably.
He didn't have a choice, right?
I can imagine, yes.
It was not the time of choosing. In that level of our consciousness, of our evolution, it was not the time of choosing. It was the era of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You either fit in the box, cut yourself, cut a few parts of you, and you leave them behind to fit in this box, or we just throw you away completely.
I think that applies to my dad.
Yeah. Wasn't necessarily that he would have been thrown away, but that's what it would have felt like, right?
He actually was thrown away by his mother.
There we go. There we go. Right?
And completely.
So your dad didn't have a choice. And probably right now he still believes he doesn't.
He never had.
Yes. But who has a choice right now?
Me.
Yes. And your dad's sacrifice was necessary for the freedom that we have today. All of that generation needed to be robots. It was the time of factories, of boxes. And that's who they needed to be to allow for this era that we're enjoying right now. It's a difficult, hard sacrifice.
I agree.
Their love, their love is in that sacrifice.
This is the wording he would use, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going back to the talks we had. which weren't many, but he actually never would say, I love you. He would say, I sacrificed that for you,
And that means I love you in his language.
in his language.
If you speak German and I speak Romanian and I say I love you in Romanian, you probably won't understand it, but it still means I love you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Does your dad enjoy financial abundance?
No, he was stressed out financially all his time, but interestingly, I can see that it was of his own making.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on his choices, he could have lived a totally different life.
What stopped him?
Cowardice.
Mm-hmm. And what are you afraid?
Not being able to really go for change.
Beautiful, beautiful. And why does he represent resistance towards financial abundance and true freedom right now?
Yes, to survive him, I had to be a better copy of himself. Just as he was the better copy of his dad.
Right.
There are differences, but in the very end, I had to beat him with his own weapons to get somehow a bit of freedom.
Of course.
This means being just like him.
Of course. But here's the thing. I felt that way with my father. I felt that way with my martial arts teachers. I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to be them. But when you realize that your heroes are not superhumans, that they're also human, that they're flawed, and then all of a sudden from wanting to be exactly like them, you want to be the complete opposite.
Rebellion is still the same.
Yeah.
It's only the other edge of it, but it belongs to the same polarity.
Yeah.
Focuses on the same things.
But what I'm saying is that journey of being my version of them to the best of my ability was so valuable to me. I learned discipline, I learned strength, I learned a version of leadership that I could always use,
Mm-hmm.
not to give up. I learned to punch somebody really hard that they never get up from the ground. That's something.
Yes.
And when I feel that I want to faint and die, that I'm only halfway to my full power,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of value. And I learned also that I have a choice. Right? I have a choice, and I learned that that wasn't really my true self. And my true self is this: having these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose. I took all the benefits of that journey, all of those blessings, which I'm still enjoying, and all of the lessons, which I can choose to use or not. Yes.
Same for me.
So are you starting to see the blessings of you being your dad?
Definitely, I never would be here if it wasn't for my parents. If they wouldn't have been, let's say, that hard and fixed in their kind of love and their understanding of love, I would never have reached where I'm today. Never ever.
And the absolute most motivational thing you can say to a leader, to a natural born leader, the absolute most motivational thing you can do and say is, you're not enough. I don't believe in you. You're never gonna make it. Feel that. Feel that fire inside of you when you hear these words.
I had a lot of fire when I was younger hearing that. Now it's less. Now it creates a smile. But I know these sentences when I know them very well.
Exactly. And the worst thing to a natural born leader that you can say is, you've done enough.
Then you just fall back.
Exactly. You get comfortable. And there is no greater death to somebody like us than being comfortable.
Definitely. Definitely. You know, nowadays I'm not reaching out to my dad anymore. I connected to the palm leaf library in India to have my palm leaf read. Now I have something to really go for.
Yeah.
You can put the bar higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right? So you can use positive energy in a negative way. You can use negative energy in a positive way. For us, positive energy is, you've done enough, you've achieved enough, you've impressed me, right? That's the worst thing that somebody like us can hear. The best thing that gets us moving and motivated is, no, you're not going to be able to do this. Mother, I'm going to show you, bitch. Sit down and watch, right?
And even for the fun of it, yes, he would do it.
Yes. Yes. So do you see how you're not enough also means I love you?
Weird, weird way of telling it, but it still is.
Doesn't feel good, right?
Mm.
But now the challenge is really understanding what is enough, and we can dive into that. But first, would you like to play with a bit of energy healing?
Always.
Okay, beautiful. Close your eyes. Think of a sum of money that you could make every month that would feel really, really, really fun for you. And you would feel that it is a direct result of your value, of your potential. Not how you see your value and potential right now, but your true worth and true potential. Think of a sum of money right now. You don't need to say it, but it needs to feel exciting, scary, and also like, what? Me? No way. Me make that amount of money? That's not that. No, no way. Nod your head when you have it. Did the amount of money show up for you? Keep your eyes closed.
I tried to see numbers and to scale up,
Yes.
but the only thing I see is the sign of unlimitedness. No, the lying eight.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's definitely true. There isn't necessarily a limit to how much money, but it's good to take it step by step, right? So, what would be an amount of money right now that would make you also feel excited, scared, and also a bit impossible? First number that comes to mind, monthly. 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 euros. What is the
You
amount?
want to make it scary, okay. A scary number.
Your eyes closed. Let your heart show you, please. I'm going to let you know.
30,000 would feel scary.
Beautiful.
30, 50, something like that.
Okay, let's start with 30, right? Let's take it step by step. Beautiful. Now, really connect with
Would
you.
actually feel overwhelming.
Good, good. That's a good feeling. Beautiful. Really, really connect with your heart. Really connect with your intuition. It is the connection with your higher self. And ask your heart to show you or to tell you, who do you think, who do you believe you need to be able to make 30 to 50K a month?
It's just me.
Right. But if you're not making that, you believe that you need to be somebody else and you don't want to be that person. And that's where the resistance is. So, who do you believe you need to be in order to make that amount of money?
Oh, a more practical person, maybe.
Okay. What else? What is the version of you that you don't like that you think you need to be in order to make that amount of money?
Oh, maybe more of a salesperson.
Beautiful. What else?
Oh, more like how do I call him in?
Yes.
I'm thinking of my uncle, which is really not a person, but an unperson for me. Somebody I despise
Beautiful.
from the depth of my heart. So I
Beautiful.
would call him an ununcle.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mhm. Does he enjoy a lot of money? Does he have a lot of money?
Yes, he has.
Okay, great, great. Who else?
And hmm? Oh,
And
that would be the limit of the sky of a person like that.
right. So what do you hate about him?
Oh, he's manipulative. He's
Yes.
greedy from the bottom of his heart.
Yes.
He is driven by power.
Yes.
There's nothing lovable about him.
Yes.
He drove his son away and his daughter into psychosis.
Oh, you do. So do you understand why you don't have financial freedom?
Yeah,
Exactly.
just do anything not to be an ununcle.
Yeah. We're going to go back to the energy healing part, but let's clear this up, right? So if my definition, let's say around dating, right? Dating is scary, it's uncomfortable. I have to be this Casanova to go on dates, but I'm not that. I'm very different. I'm a very mellow and chill guy, stuff like that, right? Would I go on dates?
You ask the divine to send you the persons that are for you.
I don't have that definition yet, right? That's my definition. That's my subconscious. And you're also, you tell me what's in your conscious.
Hmm?
That's not necessarily what's in your subconscious, because if you consciously say you want something, but you don't have it, it means that in your subconscious, your definition is different than what you say it is,
Yes,
right?
agree.
So would I be going on dates?
Nowhere.
Exactly. So if my definition, like if my only example, or let's say my closest example that's also like in my DNA is that in order to have lots of money, I have to be manipulative. I have to screw everybody around me, around even my family, right? Will I even make an attempt to financial freedom?
No.
Right? Because that's the definition.
I think this sits deeper as the ununcle.
Mm-hmm.
There are ancestors behind that.
Of course. Of course. But we're creating a new world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what do your ancestors want for you right now?
I have a very beloved ancestor,
Exactly.
my great great grandfather. And whenever I'm talking to my ancestor line, I'm talking to him.
Yes. And what does he
He
want from
is always there, just well-meaning and benevolent and
you? Beautiful. Can we talk to him?
full of grace.
Can we talk to him right now?
Yes,
Is he in the room with you?
yes.
What's his name?
Helmut, Helmut Lange.
Helmut. Beautiful. Helmut or Helmut?
Helmut.
Helmut. Okay.
This is a very old German name which means light in the sense of bright color
Mhm.
and mood, courage. So it's an elevated kind of courage, or a courage that belongs to light.
A courage that belongs to light. Beautiful.
Sorry for that.
No problem. So let's have a conversation with Helmut. He's dead and he has
Oh, actually, that was no coincidence.
really. Tell me about
That
that.
was my ex-husband calling, which is the second greediest person behind, next to the uncle. That was fate and divine intervening, reminding, setting a reminder.
For sure. For sure. Now there's another example, another definition, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had a quite hard divorce, and from the beginning he said, "You can go. No, I don't mind. You just can go. You pack your suitcase and go. But you remember all the belongings, including all our animals, stay with me."
Hmm. Right. Possession.
I
Beautiful.
went with the suitcase, by the way.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah.
So can you ask Helmut to wait for just a bit because I really want to have a conversation with him as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So here's what I believed about sales, right?
Hmm.
And maybe can your great grandfather can give you some insight around that. Um, in terms of needing to become a salesy salesperson to make money, right?
Hmm.
So I literally tried that in the beginning of my coaching career instead of, putting my version, me, in the sales call. I was trying to be like the people who were teaching me sales, right? And they were very different to me. They were very hype energy, right? Some of them were actually, they didn't care how much money you had or if you got into debt. All they care about is making the clothes, making the sale, right? So I tried that. Guess how many sales I made?
Probably none or not many.
It was one or two, but with immense effort. Immense effort. It felt like every time I was get on a sales call, it felt like an MMA fight.
Yeah.
And I did that for months until I reached a point where I said, enough is enough. I would rather die poor and alone in a cave than spend one more day in somebody else's shoes. And I stopped selling like these people. And I started selling like me. And then later I created a system that I believe, and think I'm pretty accurate when I say it is the best sales system in the world. The best. Not just because I made it, because it works. So I stopped trying where I redefined the, if I want a sale, I need to be like this person. And I started telling myself the truth. If I want a sale, I need to sell my way. How does that feel in your body?
Mm-hmm. Oh, doing it my way always sounds good.
You see that?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you sense the freedom in you right now?
Yes, I did sense it the moment I decided I'm throwing that suitcases in the car and just leave and go to Greece and do a bit of a great big nothing for a while.
Yeah.
Just focus on myself and healing. And I'm still here.
Beautiful.
And I remember the first kilometers I drove on the Peloponnese, the highway from Patra to Aegio, having this bright light and this 50 shades of blue everywhere. I've never seen colors like that in that bright light, and I was so happy.
Were they courageous lights?
Hmm?
Were they brave lights, courageous lights?
Oh, they were bright blue.
Mhm.
What you would say light blue.
Helmut.
Helmut, yes. Yes, probably I would associate that kind of brightness with him.
So maybe your grandfather was guiding you.
As I came to Greece out of the total blue, I, Greece was never my choice. Never ever. I have it so hard to learn that language. I learned Russian easier than that.
Yeah. So
But
question.
still, it feels right to be here.
So question. What are we all seeking? Is it financial freedom or is it freedom from our definitions?
Oh, free de-identification, freedom of everything.
Yes.
Just be.
So do you sense the freedom of knowing that you don't need to be like your uncle or your ex-husband to experience the financial freedom that you want?
A lot clearer than before.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So let's have a chat with your great granddad. What is he wearing right now?
Some kind of ancient clothing, a shirt, a jacket, trousers, nothing special.
Beautiful. What's the expression on his face that we're talking with him right now?
Laughing.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Give him a big thanks for guiding you and being there for you on your journey and still being here with you and never relenting on his love for you. Now, seeing that he's dead and he enjoys a bigger perspective, he sees the bigger picture. Ask him, what is the one thing besides the definition that we uncovered right now? What else is standing in the way of the financial freedom that you want? What other definitions are there? And ask him to show you or tell you.
He showed me, this children's game of throwing flat stones on the sea, and they hop and hop and hop, and he throws stones, and they are limitless, going up front, hopping, hopping, hopping.
Right. What does he mean by that? Ask him.
That I like doing this.
Mhm.
It is a bit of training. It's a bit of the right choice of the stone. But then in the end, it's about fun.
Mm.
It's not about calculating and getting the right hit and anything. You don't do it by perfection. You do it by focusing the limitless of things. You look at the horizon. It's like Japanese. How's it called when you have the bow and the arrow,
Archery.
and you have this Japanese art of focusing and just letting the arrow flow, and it just hits the center. Feels like that.
Mm. Beautiful. So ask your grandfather to show you, why are you not living like that when it comes to your business? What are you afraid of?
It's hard to see, but it all gets dark now, and all the brightness is gone.
Mm-hmm. Ask him why. Ask him why is that your definition? That things need to get dark.
It's not only dark, it feels like tar,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
unable to move somehow.
yeah, yeah. Very dense, very heavy, right? So why does it feel that way? Why does your business feel heavy and dense?
Not enough helium in it.
Mm, I don't think that is. Let's see. We're in.
Helium is the lightest gas. It's
Oh,
maybe what we would see with total easiness, happy in itself.
got it. So you said not enough helium. I heard not enough healing.
Helium. No, helium.
So let's identify it even more specifically. Where inside or outside of your body do you feel that density strongest whenever you think of finances in general? Where is it, inside or outside of your body?
Inside.
But where specifically in your body?
And the connective tissue.
So in your whole body.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Close your eyes. And notice that darkness inside of your body, in all of your tissues. that heaviness, that tar, that is a direct result of you not feeling safe in the world. And notice how that dense, dark tissue is actually working like a very efficient suit of armor.
I
Like,
can see it. It's like an exoskeleton
exactly.
added on the normal skeleton.
Exactly. Stay with it, please. That's great. If you want to share something, please do, but just keep your eyes closed. Beautiful. It feels like the nanobots in Tony Stark's suit, right? Iron Man. Whenever you need to defend yourself, boom, that suit of armor pops out from inside of your body. Nothing comes in and nothing goes out. You're completely protected, right? Beautiful. And notice the value of that strong suit of armor. Notice how efficient it is. Notice how necessary it was up until this point. And notice that for a human, that suit of armor is necessary whenever we go out to battle. Whenever we set out to achieve a big goal, it is necessary. The only challenge is that it's also super heavy. And sometimes it has a mind of its own, and every single small thing feels like a threat, and it just comes out. And you don't even realize that it's out. You don't even realize that it's protecting you and making you heavy. But now notice the truth. That you are a body of light. That you are energy. That you are love. That you are passion. And you are the source of everything that is happening around you, be it abundance, joy, passion, or challenge. You are the one creating it. And notice that for a being of pure energy, of light, can you actually be harmed?
No.
No. Because whenever a threat comes to you, it's very easy to deflect it. It's very easy to redefine it. It's very easy to benefit from it in every single way. Yes?
Yes.
And notice also the truth that you are not just this body as an energy being. Your true body is humongous. It's so big that the suit of armor could never cover it. Yes? Give your love to your suit of armor Give it all of your appreciation. Give it all of your blessings. It's always going to be with you whenever you define yourself as a human being, as a solid creature. And it's always going to be there to protect you whenever you need it. It's always going to be one word away, one belief away, one thought away. It's always going to be by your side, loving you, keeping you safe. And give it the assurance that you're going to be fine. That you're always going to be safe and that you always were safe. Not to say that the suit of armor's contribution wasn't valuable. It was. But all it wants is for you to be safe. And all it truly wants is for you to know that you've always been safe. Now allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to feel your whole energy body, not just the physical energy, but the whole body of energy. And notice how humongous, how light, how fluid, how creative, how loving that body is. Notice how nothing in any dimension, in any world, could ever damage it. And notice how you are bigger than any fear, any belief, any mistake that you think you have. Does that feel like the truth?
No, definitely it feels like an outgrown armor. I told you that we had heavy winds. In reality, it was a very, very, very heavy storm.
Yeah.
And down in the village and the sea, it did a lot of damage. And the most damage it should have done here up the hill where I'm living. But it didn't.
Exactly. It's the same with COVID right now. Everybody wants to tell you that this big storm is happening and it's going to destroy everything. It's going to destroy the world, right? But different people experience reality in different ways. For some people, it is going to be the hurricane that takes everything from them. For some people, it's just going to be something that's on the news. Doesn't affect them.
Yeah, doesn't affect me. Definitely does not affect me. Or did not.
And if it did, so what? You started from nothing. So what? Yes, what's coming? Tell me.
I just tried to connect to my great granddad, and he's still here.
Yeah. What is he saying? What is he sharing with you?
That it's fine. Go ahead.
Yes. What else?
You know, having him here and seeing you there, he was very, very great healer.
I bet.
And you know, I trained as a veterinarian doctor. I'm not a healer. I'm no doctor. I'm a teacher from the heart. And having you there, seeing what kind of healer you are, it makes it even more obvious to me that I'm no healer. I have a lot of healing knowledge,
Yes.
a lot of medical knowledge, a lot of homeopathic and therapeutical knowledge. But from the depths of my heart, I'm not that person.
Congratulations for knowing who you are and for loving who you are and not thinking you need to be something else or someone else in order to express yourself fully.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What else is your grandfather sharing with you right now?
It goes along that path. I don't need to be a scientist.
Yes.
I'm much more a philosopher than a scientist, which is a scientist of its own nature, but it has nothing to do with the sciences like physics or chemistry.
What else?
For who I am, I don't need that kind of discipline. Empathy is much more my thing.
Is empathy necessary for a teacher philosopher?
No, it's more for giving words of wisdom to people so that they can understand it.
Isn't that important for a teacher philosopher? Isn't that a necessary skill for a teacher philosopher?
Maybe from my old understanding it wouldn't be, but
Okay.
for the new understanding it would be.
It is absolutely necessary.
If I think of a teacher like the ancient philosopher Diogenes, it definitely was.
And what makes you think it isn't anymore?
Hmm?
What makes you think it isn't anymore?
I'm just thinking of what Diogenes taught at the times he lived.
Does the world need people like that?
Diogenes. You know what he did? He was so frustrated with people being not awake
Right.
and not seeing the light
Right.
that in bright light he did go around on the marketplace with a letter, saying nothing, just going around with a letter. That was his wake up call.
And what's yours for the world?
At least try to be human.
At least try to what?
Be human.
Do you have any choice in that?
If you look around in the times we live, you might think that people have a choice. They have a human body and don't act human.
Depends on the definition of being human.
It's always a definition, but that what I felt that moment was that benevolent
Mhm.
kind of person my great great grandfather is.
You have a choice in being benevolent or not. You, as a person, as who you are, truly, do you have a choice in that? Are you consciously malevolent to people
I might have been, yes.
right now?
No.
Not right now. Exactly. So do you have a choice, knowing who you are? Can you be anything but empathic and benevolent?
If I choose to be, yes.
Will you choose that?
No.
So question for you. Can a teacher, philosopher make $30,000 to $50,000 a month?
Why not?
Can Marianne, the teacher, philosopher, make $30,000 to $50,000 a month?
Definitely. The moment I can toss that stone over the sea to the horizon, why not?
Beautiful. Beautiful. So ask your grandfather right now, what are the skills that you need to develop and express authentically for you to reach that level of finance? Ask him to be very specific. What is he sharing with you?
It's hard to understand, but it's a red light and it's very warm, like infrared.
Mhm. Ask him to be a bit more specific and tell you in more physical terms, or to name the specific skills that you need to develop right now. Tell him that you understand that it's
I understand.
okay.
I understand.
Okay.
I have a survival armor I developed to survive my childhood.
Mhm.
I went to Asperger autism and I live that very proudly. But for that kind of person, that is not needed anymore. It's like shining like the sun. It's warm, it's powerful. So are we here finally healing autism?
Ooh.
But
Mm.
it feels like.
There you go.
Shouldn't be any problem. There's the power of a sun.
What did he tell you right now?
Joking about the sun and the sea and taught talked that Greek word Ilios. Ilios is the sun.
Okay.
I'm a great fan of the sun, always have been,
There we go.
especially of sunsets.
What is your definition around making money right now?
None. This it feels blue, easy.
What is your definition about accounting and sending invoices?
I don't need to have. There's so many other possibilities. Since 4 years, I'm living on donations and gifts people are giving me because I didn't like to write invoices, and I just can go on like that. Why not?
Can you hire somebody to write invoices for you?
I don't want to.
Right.
I can just ask people to donate and send gifts on another scale.
What is your definition around writing invoices? What is the judgment?
It doesn't look black anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't need to go there.
What do you mean?
It's like deciding I don't need to go there. I have other possibilities.
Yes, but let's say you did have to write invoices. What is the feeling associated with it? What is the definition?
Still feels nasty a bit.
Right, but why?
Like like um like a crawling insect on the skin.
Right, but why? What's like, what do you think happens when you send an invoice?
If somebody absolutely wants to have it, can have it.
Okay, but what's the definition, right? If they don't absolutely need it, but you send it anyway, why does it feel like something crawling on your skin?
In this brightness, in this light blue, and this sunshine,
Right.
there isn't that kind of system.
Okay. But the reason why that is not necessarily the system, but the feeling associated with it, right? I'll give you an example because I was talking about my sales system, right? So before, the way that I was selling was a lot of guesswork. I didn't really understand why the person didn't feel comfortable paying me and becoming a client, right? But now I have a way of asking questions and then diving even deeper so that I know exactly, because like in the call when the person's in the process of buying something from you, they don't even know why they have resistance. They don't, right? So the way that I sell is I go through every single possible thing and I say, are you 100% confident that I can help you with this? Or this is going to be valuable for you, or this is going to happen. And anything that doesn't get 100% confidence, I say, okay, beautiful. What would make you 100% confident that that specific thing is going to happen through our coaching, right? And they tell me, well, if this happened and this happened and this happened, I would be 100% confident. And if I can deliver that to them, what
Hmm?
what the thought that you got?
Bogdan, you can write an invoice about $30,000
Right.
and you can say, this is my animal charity, donate $30,000, please.
Right, but sometimes you can just write an invoice for your services, right? So let me just share the story. Maybe there's something of value there, right? Would you like me to
Yes, please.
awesome. So at the end of the conversation, there is no question in terms of whether the person, like, if I can provide the things that are going to make them 100% confident, I say, okay, great. That's exactly what we're going to be doing together, right? If I can't, I'm honest with them. I say, okay, this is something that I cannot do, right? That's
Hmm?
not my thing. That's not my coaching. That's not my style, right? So it's their decision to make. But usually we reach a level of 100% confidence. And by the end of the call, there's no question whether the person wants to work with me or not. It's just a matter of, matching their budget, right? Seeing like exactly what they can invest, seeing if I can do that with them, or if I have a solution within that budget, or they can become like either one-on-one or group coaching clients, right? So at the end of that process, we find the fit. So we're both aligned, right? We're both at 100%. So in that moment, me sending the invoice is a reason for celebration, right? The
Hmm?
invoice for me is a great, great feeling because it means that I'm doing a great job. That's my definition of invoicing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, what is it specifically that makes it feel weird for you, this idea? And I know I'm super happy that you found different ways, but I think there's also a bit of value in scratching this wound a bit right now.
This definitely is, because before I was semi-confident about this choice of mine.
Right.
And now I'm total confident about this choice of mine.
Which is,
I'm living on donations
yes.
and I can happily ask for them.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So the resistance was towards the idea that you're living on donations, but now you're embracing that idea and seeing it as a power. Not a
And before I saw limits in it, because people donate just a bit and there a bit, and it is not a bigger sum, but I never thought of that being limitless.
Oh, yes.
That I easily can say, if you want to work with me, your donation is
There
this
we,
and that sum. I never had that in mind.
there we go.
And for those who need some kind of paper for their being sure about something, then it is a donation receipt.
How does that feel?
Oh, so great. It's just that I thought that donations are limited, but they are not.
It takes a very special human being to be able to generate donations.
I can't do that because I'm a very generous person. I'm giving all the time.
Exactly. So you're giving all the time, and the world is giving back in the form in which you express abundance. You're expressing abundance in the form of giving, and abundance is being expressed back to you in the form of donation. And that is a superpower.
It becomes a superpower the moment you recognize that it is limitless, that it has no limits.
It's always been a superpower. Even if somebody donates 1 cent to you, it means that you've generated trust in that person, and there is a magical experience. You've generated that experience of somebody wanting to donate finances to you. It is a superpower no matter if you're getting a cent or you're getting $10 trillion. It is still the same power. Now,
It's of the same power, yes.
what you're feeling is the truth that you can allow that power to express itself in limitless ways in your life because you let go of the judgment. There we go.
I told you that I was asked by two business people to work with them,
Mhm.
and I just didn't know whether to do or not. But now it seems easy because I can stick to the same profile there. If somebody wants to work with me, it's my condition on how this has to happen. And this is by donating for my charity. That's it.
There we go.
And for those who don't want to, they don't want to.
And what's an easier sell? Give me money for myself. I want to buy a yacht, or give me money because I have this charity that I'm working on.
The charity is much more myself than anything else. This is my love for animals. This is my expression of the depths of my heart.
And look at
When
this.
they're sending the money to the charity, they're sending it to me.
Look at this powerful woman right now.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for deciding to be this, because this is who you truly, truly, truly are. A powerful, limitless woman who's exceptionally generous and inspires generosity in the people around her.
So be it.
So it is.
You know, amen is so be it if you translate it literally.
Already is. And it will always be. Right? And you are very, very, very welcome. Wow, I'm really, really happy about this. It was so awesome to hold the space and allow Marie to connect with our ancestor deeply and get specific and powerful answers to her most burning questions. And you can see the difference between the person she was when we started the conversation and the person she is now. She has unlocked limitless abundance in her life. And that's a powerful seed that in time will grow into a beautiful, beautiful garden. So very, very happy about this. In my next video, you are going to see one of my clients get out of a sales slump by really understanding his value and his power. Now, I would love to know, what was your biggest insight from watching this video? Comment below and I will randomly pick 5 people to give one of these powerful sessions to, and also a shout out in one of my next videos. All you have to do is comment your biggest aha moment. What was the most valuable thing you got out of watching this powerful conversation? And if you are one of the lucky 5 to win one of the 5 powerful coaching sessions, I will let you know. And my promise to you is that there won't be any weird sales conversation, just pure, powerful, transformational coaching so that you can live out your full potential, unlock financial freedom in your life, and just live a life of peace, joy, and happiness. And also, writing down your insights actually makes them a lot more real. And declaring them publicly in a comment actually allows you to shift to the person you want to be with a lot more ease. So it's very, very powerful and beneficial for you as well. Not doing that makes it a bit harder. If you've enjoyed this video, then absolutely check out this video where I attempt to help my client move from feeling insecure to feeling unstoppable in only one session.